Hi, Cooper community. My name is Colleen Evans, and I am the Dean of Students at Cooper Middle School. This past Tuesday, we had another COBRA Community Circle meeting. It was held virtually, and our topic this month was on social media. So we were really excited to welcome Officer Michael Essick, who has been in law enforcement for over 9 years with the Buffalo Grove Police Department. He is currently a school resource officer in District 96, and he came in to better teach us about social media, the effects of social media, and what we can do as adults to help monitor our students' social media accounts. So we jumped in with a brief history on what social media is. And according to Merriam-Webster, it is a form of electronic communication. And it's used to create online communities to share information, ideas. Sometimes it's used in the business sector or political sector, as well as promoting and connecting. Interesting to kind of go back where social media originated from. And it actually goes all the way back to the 1550s, where the first newspaper was created. And at that time, the newspaper really was the evolution of social media as a way to spread information such as daily and world news or selling products, building the economy, and just everyday social activities. And so that's where it's really transpired into social networking. And so moving forward, after the COVID-19 pandemic, we really have seen a huge influx in the use of social media amongst our students. And so this presentation is to go over what types of social media our students are currently utilizing. And so here is an image of some different types of social media that we might know and use ourselves. But specifically, there are two forms that we really see our students here at Cooper utilizing a lot. And the first one is Snapchat. So we wanted to give just a brief understanding of what Snapchat is. It is a communication application, and it's exclusively made just for mobile phones. So you cannot find it on your computer. When you make an account, I think it's important to note that the user agrees to be 13 years old by just simply checking a box. And so we know a lot of students who are younger than 13 do have Snapchat accounts, but it's really made for those who are 13 and older. The user then inputs what's called a display name and a username. And that can be changed at any time. And so what we see students do is sometimes create a post, put it out there, and then maybe quickly change their display name. And so there's this thought around, I can't get caught for posting something that might be inappropriate. Officer Essig then gave us kind of a rundown of Snapchat, where you can add friends through your mobile numbers, usernames, or even scanning a QR code. So it's really easy to connect with friends. And the appeal is that you're able to share messages, photos, or even videos very quickly. And you get to set how long you want that message, photo, or video to be active on your account. But the reality is, as Officer Essex said, it's kind of like the danger of the get out of jail free app. But it's really not. So students think that I'm going to post a picture and it's going to delete within 30 seconds. But we know that you can screenshot that and you can actually save it. So other users can save those images and they do tend to pop up later, sometimes even months later. Then we wanted to kind of go through a quick rundown of TikTok, which really evolved during COVID and during our remote learning. So it was originally called Musically, and again, another social networking platform, but it was generated around videos and really around people either lip singing to popular songs or creating their own dances, or even talking and telling a story. And it was a way during the pandemic for people to connect with others when we were isolated. So some of the effects of social media is that it has created a lot of anxiety. There is a sense of urgency for us to respond. So you hear the ding go off in your phone, and immediately you want to pick it up and see who is either contacting you, texting you, posting something, liking something. And so often we talk to students here in the office at Cooper, and they come down saying, I feel like I need to respond or I will be excluded from a friend group. And so sometimes students are responding when they might not be regulated. And so their response then is also sometimes coupled with inappropriate pictures or words or messages. So truly, anxiety has greatly gone up. And last month we talked about mental health and kind of gave a rundown of mental health and how anxiety has really just influxed since COVID. Well, social media is also kind of coupled with that. So how can you manage your students' social media accounts? This is where we're really asking for families to get involved. So one thing that's really important is remembering that the phone does not belong to your student. It belongs to the family member who is paying for the phone. And so you have the right to go through that phone. And we strongly advise that you go through the phone with your student often, so consistently and frequently. And one piece of advice that Officer Essa gave is when students are downloading different social media accounts, such as Snapchat, really familiarizing yourself with it first so you have a better understanding of how the app works, what it does, all the ins and outs of it. And that way it can even guide a conversation with your student about what are you posting. Another important piece is establishing some guidelines and rules for the device, such as if you're going to be creating a video and sending it out to friends, where in the home can you do that? So picking a strategic spot where there is a background that might be appropriate. Um, Bedroom, bathroom, not appropriate places. You might make an agreement that we are only going to send and post videos in the living room. Um, Also, establishing where certain devices can be placed after certain times. And so giving strict guidelines that after 7 p.m., for example, we are going to charge our cell phone down in the kitchen and get it out of the bedroom. And often we do hear families say, well, my student needs it as an alarm to get up in the morning. Well, that might be true that it does have an alarm on it, but there are other things that you can use, such as just an old kind of plug in the wall alarm clock, and really getting that device out of the room so that usage is kept at a minimum. And then I love the phrase of show me that I can trust you. So making sure you're having a conversation about when you're going to check in on different applications. So it's not a surprise, it's not a I got you moment, but it really will help kind of push that pause button for students to say, if I know my family is going to be checking my phone, going through my history, going through my photos, my social media accounts, I might think twice about what I'm about to post. Another good thing is to really have those guided conversations about online behavior and being aware of who you're talking to and when, and actually having that sexting talk or cyberbullying talk. What happens on phones is that there sometimes is a sense of trust um, that we might not feel when we're face to face with people, but behind the screen we do. And really being able to stop and question that is an important skill that we want our students to have. Lastly, there are some apps to better monitor your student. You can do a Google search, but be careful and cautious about saying, I'm going to download this app, and so this is going to help me monitor my student and their device, and so my job is done. and it's not going to catch everything. There is no app that actually catches everything. And so, really, the best thing is actually going through that phone again consistently and frequently. Um, Communication, lastly, is key. And so we had a really lovely conversation on Tuesday about keeping the doors of communication open around technology. And so your student feels comfortable asking questions. And like I said, going through that phone so there really are no surprises. We thank you so much for watching this presentation. I hope it was useful. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them in an email for me. I'd be happy to connect with you. Thank you so much.